The essence of the Terminator. Is it gone? Current box office projections say the franchise is pretty terminated. Stay tuned for further thoughts. So yeah guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Nerd Crate. A little bit of a sorrowful topic for me today. Disclaimer first, spoilers ahead for Dark Fate. If you haven't seen it, it's out in the cinemas for 2 weeks straight now. So just so you know. I watched it, you know, which those of you that watched it know. Click the link above if you want to hear my immediate thoughts, which given were pretty convoluted, but they were just straight from the cinema. You know, I wanted to tell you what I thought of the movie fair and square directly out of the cinema. But I never done this before, so if it was too convoluted, way more structured thoughts today. So I'm not gonna recap the whole franchise. I want to recap and talk about a little bit of or about Terminator 1, 2, and now, as it's been told, the true 3, Dark Fate. So with this we have to say, I thought about this video when Terminator Dark Fate was around 133 million, which was already bad, but not as bad as people thought. But then an article surfaced, which you can see in the descriptions below, and that article actually stated that Terminator Dark Fate is projected to lose the license proprietor, the owners, which is Skydance and Paramount, around 100 to 130 million alone, which is a lot. The article also states that close sources to Sundance and Paramount say there are no immediate plans for a next Terminator movie, which to me is like, okay, good, finally, maybe they've gotten it. Maybe it finally rooted in their head that the way they're trying to do business doesn't any longer function the way they think it is. That the franchise is still giving off money to them the way they're doing it. Because, let's be fair, the bite is out of the Terminator franchise. Pretty much fitting what happened to its creator, James Cameron. I'm a fan of James Cameron movies, don't get me wrong, but he has no place anymore in Terminator. And I can tell you why. Avatar, that is pretty much the answer. In the high hopes that he has to bring more awareness to environmentalism, he has become a mainstream movie maker without any nice ideas anymore, without any, let's call them groundbreaking ideas. Let's just think about it. He thought of Terminator 1, the young James Cameron that he was. He thought of this while he had a fever dream in Rome. He thought of the chrome endoskeleton rising from the fires, and he brought that into the movie after the tanker truck exploded and the T-800 rose from the flames to chase down Kyrie's and Sarah Connor further. Nowadays he just thinks about the biggest movie possible, maybe the next submarine ride to some hidden old sunken ship, and of course the environmentalism, which is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. 100% I'm behind this. I think we could get energy way better and way cleaner than we're doing it. The thing is just, you can't do both. You can't do movies, have good ideas and also groundbreaking ideas, and still do environmentalism and think about the environment and the future and anything. You need to focus your mind. And I think from this focuslessness came the point that he thought of killing John Connor. Spoiler, like I told you. He actually came with that idea. Tim Miller told a website, I'm not going to post all the links and all the stories where I saw that. I'm just telling you fair and square. You will find this on the internet. That his idea was to kill John Connor. Essentially a quote, you pull the rug from underneath the construct that has been pretty much the pillar of the whole franchise. And while this is a not too bad an idea, I think this was still a bad move, because this is pretty much what held it all together. We still had John Connor in Genesis, which was more successful than Dark Fate, but they transformed it into the T-3000, sorry, only to be destroyed and to destroy Skynet, and it was still there. And it was a movie that was already a box office bomb. And now they took Dark Fate, killing him at the very beginning, while teasing that Edward Furlong is back, and killing him. The very thing that James Cameron chastised during the Alien 3 period. He said that after it was all smoke and mirrors, so to speak, he said that during Alien 3, and he saw that Hicks and Newt was killed, that this was a bad move. They could have gone way further with those characters, and he chastised it back then, and now he's doing the exact same thing. Dude, you're the creator. Get a grip, man. So while Skydance and Paramount are trying to get money out of this, and with these moves like killing John Connor and getting Linda Hamilton back, and adding Mackenzie Davis and the other Mexican actors to this to keep old followers but have new followers also get in here, they essentially forgot the essence and went back to the whole thing. The Terminator has real skin, and this one rots and smells and sweats, and therefore it ages. The same thing they tried for Genesis, just for the desperate attempt to have Arnold Schwarzenegger again in there. And I don't know, I have the feeling Salvation did it best, because MacG may have made a convoluted piece of Hollywood history, but he had new ideas, he had fresh ideas. And from the movies that came after T2, Salvation is actually the freshest one. Well, I'm at the fresh point. The most horrible mistake they made to me in Dark Fate was actually to bring in the Genesis Endo. I told you in the Dark Fate review that there are glaring differences between both endoskeletons, and I'm not going to show that to you. If this is all too long for you, you know where the X button is. But they said from the get-go that Terminator Dark Fate is the follow-up to Terminator 2. What do we see in the first few minutes, or even seconds, it's not that long, of Dark Fate? We see the Genesis Endo. We see young Arnold Schwarzenegger killing John Connor, but we also see the Genesis Endo, which is super idiotic, because they took in a part of the old anvil sounds that Brett Fidel used in his equalizer. They even put in the old Westinghouse sound of the plasma rifle in the future war sequence. But then they put in the old endoskeleton. For Terminator fans like me, that's like, what the hell are you doing? This is a no-go. That doesn't make any kind of sense. Because they went all out to reconstruct Sarah Connor's face after the 90s and Edward Furlong too. So that's incompetently done. And what they do next is they try to stay on old ideas, but they, I don't know, they superimpose it over themselves? Like in Terminator 1, that's called concept. We saw that the Terminator was able, this one, to learn phrases and to make himself pretty much indistinguishable from normal humans. They expanded upon this in Terminator 2, with him being able to be more human. And he learned from John Connor several other phrases like "Hasta la vista, baby." A perfect example. The thing is, where they went all out now in Terminator Dark Fate is that they actually say this Terminator has succeeded in his mission and he needed to blend in. He had no other parameters, so they needed something to happen for him to blend in further. That's a concept I can get behind with. I can even get behind the fact that after years and years and years of learning, that he understands all that human emotion way better. Like, I know now why you cry. I get behind all of that. What I am having a hard time with, a very, very hard time with, and the longer I think of it, I actually hate it, is the fact that he cared to save a mother and his kid from their abusive father/husband. That's the thing where I say this Terminator couldn't care less. He's just blending in. And maybe he would save, but then it would already say he grew a conscience ahead of that point already, like the machine equivalent of a conscience. That's what he told Sarah Connor in Dark Fate. The thing is, he told her that he developed a conscience pretty much at a certain point, that he grew the conscience when he was raising his son, and from then he understood what he robbed Sarah of. So it's like this conscience happened, where I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Or more specifically so, it does make sense until a certain point, but then it stops to. That's almost like the original concept of Terminator Salvation, where Skynet all of a sudden it didn't want to wipe out the human race anymore. He was misunderstood. He tried to save them. That's the original concept behind Salvation, and there were several scenes filmed already. So like going 180 on all the concepts, you know? So with this, I actually just want to take a step into the musical part, because this is where the incompetence and the nonsensical part continues. Because we have Tom Holkenborg, Junkie XL, which is a very talented musician. He made the Deadpool score and several else. You can check him out on Wikipedia. He's doing he's actually did quite a lot of video game scores, and the Deadpool score actually still resonates with me. It's a great score, and I thought when I heard that they are getting him for the score, I thought like, there's someone with potential. There's absolutely someone with potential. Instead, there was the rehashed anvil, which is not a bad thing. If they fully would have taken it and made it himself into a good score, I could have accepted this. But almost everything else in this score is unpersonal. It just is. We have the only part that really resonated with me was a bit, not even the whole thing, was only a bit in the score piece for the Rev 9. And that again sounded similar to the Dress soundtrack with Carl Urban, which is not good. It resonates with something else and not of Terminator. Brett Fidel made very, very personal and individual soundtracks for Terminator 1 and 2. The first one was very abstract. I can understand why people say, how can you listen to that? It was so pretty abstract and pretty, I don't know, kind of hectic song structures in there somewhat. Terminator 2 was a little bit better, but both of them were ahead of their time. And the score by Tom Holkenborg for Dark Fate isn't. And this was pretty much the last chance where it was actually able to stand any test, to be anywhere individual. Because James Cameron and Tim Miller didn't have the guts or didn't pull through to do something else, and therefore we're back at the rehashing. And therefore it's another lackluster attempt, and therefore I can only say that I believe that the franchise is pretty much like you see in the thumbnail, Terminated. With these developments in the franchise, that Terminator 3 was trying to grab a quick dollar, and Schwarzenegger even paid a good amount of money to build extra bits in that crane chase scene that was torn down. Then on Terminator 4 they tried something else, which was, I still can respect, it was something else. It was a future war, not the future war, but a future war. And it made several attempts, and I think in itself it's a good movie. But then Genesis was no. Several interesting ideas, but not well put together. Always just bits and parts and fan service where it's too much, not needed. And now Dark Fate, pretty much the same. I see no good future, especially like I told you at the start, that the shareholders, or not the shareholders, the owners of the franchise actually have no plans to do further movies. I actually see this somewhere going down into the teen section, and then we get some CGI story later on, and it's sad. I think those movies resonated with a lot of people. I still love them to this day, and I will concentrate my collecting prowess probably now on those movies and collect what I have and what I want to have. So yeah, it was a little bit of a sorrowful topic today, but I hope you enjoyed either way. Do me a favor, hit in the comments what you like, what you didn't like, what you thought of Dark Fate, what you think of 1 and 2, what you would like to see. Have you seen Dark Fate? What did you think you would see, and were you disappointed? Did you like it? Whatever, hit it in the comments. I would love to engage in a discussion with you. And for today I can only say, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please like, and of course also hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos of me. That way you will never miss another video. And I will see you guys on Sunday, and on Sunday, just check out the box, you will see NYCC Smoke by Storm Collectibles.
Dude, chill. Remember a few weeks ago? You announced Crate Hangouts. That's on Sunday. On Saturday it's Smoke. Remember?
Hope you dig it. I sure do. It's a great figure. Until then, see you guys. Take care. Bye.